Hey guys, this is Locke. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get a high score over 180,000 on Brand using only one P3 unit, which is Nox. So first I'm going to go through the units that I'm going to be using, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the strategy and how to do that. So I'm using Nox, and my Nox is level 84. I unfortunately can't unlevel it to be level 70, so to gimp Nox's stats, what I did instead was to take off her crime bands. As you can see, it's empty. So when you put crime bands on Nox, hopefully your stats will be a lot higher, such that my gimped Nox has similar stats to your Nox at level 70 with crime bands. That's the idea anyway. Aside from Nox, I'm using level 65 Langley, level 60 Zoya, level 55 EMP, and level 45 Demolia. I'm also going to be using a level 70 Hamel. She is P2. I don't have any other healer, unfortunately, that I leveled up, so Hamel is the only one that I can use. If I had Ariel, I would use Ariel instead and show it with it. Well, I do have Ariel, but she's just not leveled, and I don't have the resources to level her to level 60 plus right now. So this is the best that I can do to kind of show you, but the strategy should be possible even with Ariel. So if you have Ariel, you can probably mimic a very similar strategy with her. So let's get right into it. The important thing right now is actually to remember to take this buff, because Nox is going to be a central piece of this strategy. If you're on a week where you don't have this buff, then your score is probably going to be a little bit lower than 180. But when you have this, your score should probably be pretty high. And you're actually not doing as much damage to the boss. So like the idea is to let the boss run through and do as much damage as you can, but still not kill it. Just let it run through, and instead you want to focus on killing the other enemies around, remove their HP as much as possible. So that's why you're going with this buff instead of that one. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go through it. I'm using the Last Stand as the chief skill because that increases my damage output. If you find that units are dying too fast, and you will find that even my unit, sometimes I've tried this a few times, my EMP dies, and that's okay. It's alright to let your units die, but if you find that it's too hard to do, units are dying too much, maybe you can think of using Empower instead of Last Stand. But this is the runner that I'm going to go with, using this one because it's a little bit harder than using Empower. And here's how it goes. So when it starts, you want to use this skill to make sure that your units are already doing as much damage as possible. And at this point, sometimes EMP dies, sometimes she doesn't, but it's okay if she dies. You don't, as long as your units are okay, you can use that. Yeah, so if you manage to time it right, then your EMP doesn't die, and then you can do that and use that. There you go. So that's the idea, like kill these guys as soon as possible and then move them over to the sides where they don't cause trouble and let them run through. You have to be a little bit careful with using his skill because you want to make sure that it's not in the range of the boss, because you don't want the boss to stop and use the skill. It's okay to use the skills on the boss, provided that you don't make the boss stop. So you just let the boss run through, and there you go. And what score did I end up with? 188,000. So almost 190,000. So you can see, like, it's a pretty high score, and you're not even attacking the boss. You're letting the boss run through. And as you can see, like, all my units except for Nox is below 70. I mean, Hamel didn't do any damage, right? So everyone else is below 70, and so Nox is doing the majority of damage, and everyone should have Nox. If you haven't leveled Nox, I mean, honestly, that's really too bad, because Nox, I think, is so powerful and makes the game so much easier, and especially helps you with the stage. So I highly recommend that you level up Nox. But yeah, that's the idea. You can easily get a score of over 180,000 on this stage with Nox and basically any other physical damage dealer and one healer. So I hope this video is helpful. And so if you've been stuck for a long time on the low risk because you're afraid to make the jump, you can watch this and see if you can kind of mimic what I did with my units. And if you can, then maybe it's time for you to kind of make the jump. You should also be at least able to get 160,000 on the second stage, the shackled captive stage, which is this one. So if you can do that, get 180 on brand, 160 on shackled, I mean that's that's pretty good. The third stage is also not too bad. So if you're able to get around that 160,000 or so, you're probably getting the same cube income as you were for the previous stage, in the low risk area. So then it might be a good idea to switch over. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If there's other questions or comments, or if you're having specific trouble with something, let me know and I'll see what I can do to help you guys out. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Take care now.